once in a while, something sort of unbelievable happens to me. And I feel the need to share it with the world, but it's not significant enough or long enough to be one of my Wednesday videos. I don't know how many of you noticed, but Wednesday is always my big story time video. Then on Saturday, I just post something extra like a fan mail video, a Vine compilation. So what I might start doing on some Saturdays is mini story time, where I can tell these weird little anecdotal things. This is my first mini story time. I'm gonna pre-warn you, this is going to be the stupidest, most pointless, insignificant sounding story you've ever heard. But I need you to come on this journey with me. I don't expect you to understand. I don't expect you to sympathize, but I just need you to be here for me. Apparently, Coachella is a big deal. However, I have no desire to go to the festival that is called Coachella. You could not pay me enough money. It sounds like an anxiety attack waiting to happen. I don't like heat. I don't like crowds. I don't like being dirty. I don't like listening to music live that I've never heard before. I don't like overpriced food. However, I also have a very real, I'm pretty sure clinically diagnosable case of FOMO. So there's something about everybody being at this festival and being really excited and having an amazing time that is just really making me feel icky inside that I'm not a part of it. Now, I did get invited to these parties outside of Coachella that happen all weekend. First night, I decided not to go, and everyone and their mothers showed up to this party. Leonardo DiCaprio, Rihanna, Joe Jonas, Ruby Rose, just to name a few. This is the party that I didn't go to, and I'm not a fangirl, but yes, the I am. So I was invited to the same party the next night, and I'm like, I'm not missing this party to save my life. I text Alex. We leave at like 9:30 p.m. We're not even gonna get there until midnight, but I don't care. I'm going to this party. Once I get there, the guy that's supposed to be giving me my wristbands doesn't respond right away. So we're like, oh, what do we do? And we decide to go to this other party that we got invited to while we wait. When I tell you, it was the most boring party I've ever been to in my entire life. I can't express to you how lame it was. Like, it was just mind-numbingly dull. I'm completely sober. I've been trying not to drink that much lately. We had just gotten there. It's already midnight. I'm not about to start drinking now at this party. People keep offering me drinks, so I'm like, ugh. However, this girl walks by, and she had the most amazing apple that I have ever seen in my life. I watched her bite into it, and I just saw the juices go. This is no basic apple. This is the apple that Eve took from the tree, damning us all to the burden of original sin for all eternity. Immediately, I'm just like, where'd this get this apple? Where did it come from? Did she bring it from home? Did she go out and buy an apple in the middle of Coachella? Is there an apple tree at this party that I am unaware of? I become absolutely fixated, obsessed even, with finding this apple. I scour this entire party. Not a single apple in sight. I'm beginning to lose faith, but then I see another man walk by, and he also has an apple. So now I'm like, are they friends? Did they come together? Is this the same apple and they're just sharing? And then I see a third guy with an apple, and I'm like, okay, everybody keep calm. There are apples in this facility. At this point, I'm absolutely consumed with this apple. I was put on this earth to find this apple. I would trade an entire year of my life to get my hands on this apple. I drove 3 hours from LA to Indio, California to get this apple. So people start coming up to me. They're trying to socialize, trying to be normal human beings at a party. No, I don't want your small talk. I don't want your social niceties. I want this apple. Every single person that comes up to me, I ask them if they've seen an apple, and not a single person has seen an apple. I can't figure out how nobody at this party has figured out where they're hiding this treasure. But I know it's here. My sixth sense is tingling. I can feel their presence. At this point, I've enlisted a full-fledged search party, all bonded together by the unified goal of finding me this apple. Then this guy comes up to me and he says, hey Gabby, we've actually met before. I work at Vine. I said, oh, nice to see you again. And he said, how are you enjoying your night? I said, honestly, I saw a girl take a bite of an apple and I haven't been able to take my mind off of it. And then his face lights up, and I saw it in his eyes before he even said it, but he looked me dead in my soul. And he said, I know where the apples are. In this moment, superheroes are real. He said, follow me, and I swear to you, I would have followed him to the end of the earth and back. However, to my dismay, he brought me to this bar that I already looked at, and I knew for a fact there were no apples at this bar. My friend Gigi had also followed, and we're both looking over this bar, and we're like, dude, there's no apples. And he's like, yes, there are. I'm looking at it right there. There's an apple, and we're staring, and I promise you, if you've never believed anything from any of my other story videos ever, believe this, there were no apples. He kept pointing to this bucket that was clearly a tip jar. And I'm just like, okay, this guy's crazy. I am so let down. This is why I have trust issues. This is just another thing to talk about in therapy. I am so hurt. He gets all flustered and walks away, and I'm just like, whatever, I don't care if I never see this guy again. So then I turned to my friend Gigi, and we're just like, that was the weirdest thing, that this guy came and just started pointing at this imaginary apple and then just ran away. But then a miracle happened. All of a sudden, he comes back from, honestly, I have no idea where he went or where he came from, presumably heaven. And in his hand, he's holding the most glorious apple I've ever seen. My heart just filled with so much love, joy, success, gratitude. He walks over, he puts the apple right in my face, and he says, I told you there was an apple. This is the last one. I get this huge smile across my face, and then I reach for it, and he goes, he just started eating the apple. And I said, I wanted that apple. And he said, I decided that I wanted the apple for myself. My feelings have now shifted to confusion, pain, betrayal. I can't tell you how long I stared at him in disbelief. I feel like it was an eternity. I turned to Gigi to see if I was imagining this, if maybe I'd fallen asleep and this was all a terrible nightmare that I would wake up out of any moment. But I could tell by the look on her face that she was absolutely dumbfounded as well. I told this guy that I had been looking for an apple for the past 30 minutes. I trusted him. He knew the extent of my desire, and he led me like a shepherd leads his flock on a fruitless quest. Okay, so he walks away, and my friend turns to me and she goes, hold up. Wasn't the entire point of this whole thing to find you an apple? And now my feelings shift to rage. He had that entire party to eat that apple. He apparently knew exactly where it was the entire party and had no desire to eat it until I wanted it. You know when you're a kid and you go and you play with a toy and then a kid runs up and goes, that's mine, I'm playing with it. And they had no desire to play with it until you wanted to play with it. It was like that, but with my dignity. So I go outside and apparently you can read the betrayal on my face. I start telling them this story and they legitimately think I'm lying. Like, honestly, I don't think that this story time video is giving justice to just how weird this situation was. Maybe you had to be there, but by divine intervention, in that moment, he walks up to my group of friends. He has one bite of his apple left, and he goes, do you want the last bite? And then ate the last bite of the last apple in front of my face. And what makes this so much weirder is the fact that he works at Vine. This isn't some weird drunk stranger who took Molly at Coachella and started stealing apples from sober, hungry girls. That's honestly the whole story. You may be happy to know though that somebody did eventually find me an apple. A stranger that I will never forget. And you know what? It was the juiciest apple I've ever had in my entire life. And we did end up getting wristbands to the party we were supposed to go to, but at that point I felt like my mission had been accomplished. I felt I served my purpose and we went home. So yeah, that's the story of when I drove 5 hours for an apple. Feel free to let me know in the comments how stupid this story was, but do give this video a thumbs up and let me know if this is something that you want to see more of, just these dumb little things that happen to me in my everyday life. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't and if you don't hate me. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. As always, I love you very much. Thank you for being a part of my family and I'll see you next time.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna, really, really, really wanna zig a zig apple.
You wouldn't eat the last apple, would you?